Hey, everyone, and welcome to the Jess Get Hired Podcast. I want to welcome you guys to another great episode of the Jess Get Hired Podcast. I am your host, Jessica Fiesta George, and I am thrilled to kick off my sizzling summer series with a brand new format. So get ready for hot takes. These are scorching conversations with top business influencers, career coaches, people you've probably seen online, and a lot of people you've heard from on my show. And we dive into the hottest topics trending in the workplace today. We serve up spicy nuggets of actionable information that you can digest with ease. And this summer, our podcast is proudly sponsored by the Spicy Gnome Hot Sauce, which is offering flavor-packed experiences like no other. So you need to buckle up. Join us on a flavor-packed journey that will leave your taste buds craving for more. And speaking of spicy, today's hot take is all about fertility to fatherhood. These are perks employers should have to attract and retain talent. So I have an incredible guest with me today that is going to help us explore the world of family building benefits and how they play a crucial role in winning the talent war. So I want to introduce you guys to Anthony Franzese. He's an executive partner with Stork Club, a fertility and family building vendor that helps employees. And he has 10 years of experience in the employee health space. He's a pro when it comes to helping companies navigate the best benefits for their organizations. And he is also another podcaster. His podcast is called Successful Working Parents Podcast, and he dives into how parents balance work life and family life, and they still thrive. So you can connect with him on LinkedIn and also catch his podcast, and of course, this one on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and more. So today we're going to talk about the crucial topic of fertility benefits and how they play a key role in helping employees win the talent war. So let's welcome him in. All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Jess Get Hired podcast. Today, we're diving into the crucial topic of fertility benefits and how they play a key role in helping employers win the talent war. And I have with me a special guest. His name is Anthony Franzese, and he's going to share his insights on why providing the right perks is essential to attracting and retaining top talent. So first off, welcome to the Jess Get Hired podcast.
Thank you for having me. Excited to be here.
I'm excited to have you. So you're a new father. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you. I can't believe it. It'll be a month tomorrow.
Oh, goodness. A newborn.
Yeah.
Hopefully
newborn.
You're getting some good sleep.
Not as much as I used to, but not too bad.
Well, tell us what it's like to be a new dad. What's your son or daughter?
I have a daughter. Her name is Valentina. It's been fun so far. We live in New York City, my wife and I, and so it's been fun to kind of take her around the city and just having this new experience in a city that I've been in for so long. As I mentioned, not sleeping quite as much as I used to, but to be honest with you, I was expecting to be really like delirious all day, and it's not quite as devastating as I had prepped myself for. So it's been fun.
Well, good. Well, hopefully in time, you and your wife will be able to get some much needed rest, but you have to cherish these moments because trust me, they do grow up really, really fast.
Yeah, that's what everybody keeps reminding me about.
Well, we hear a lot from moms and the lack of maternity benefits and maternity leave, but we hardly get to hear from the dad's point of view. So I'm glad to have your perspective on this episode. So we've titled this episode from fertility to fatherhood, perks that win the talent war. So today's job seekers are kind of looking for more than just a paycheck. They want benefits that will cater to their unique needs, like flexible work arrangements and professional development opportunities. And over time, I think there's been a really big shift towards a more holistic approach to employee benefits. So what do you think are some of the must-have benefits that talent should look for in a company?
Yeah, so having been in the benefit space for the last 10 years, I've seen a lot of progression. It started off more on the physical health space and focusing more on getting employees active. And there was a big campaign around sitting being the new smoking and getting people to move more. In the last few years, mental health has become a really big topic, especially since the pandemic, which is great. We've removed the stigma around talking about mental health, and people feel more comfortable reaching out when they need help. And most employers now offer some point solution beyond just an EAP to support their employees' mental health. I spent a long time at Headspace, bringing Headspace to employees as well. So that's been really great to see. And in the last couple of years, a really big trend is the support for fertility. So beyond beefing up the family leave policy so that there's weeks and weeks for both the mother and the father, or for both parents, or for a single parent, it's also really important that employers are starting to offer the ability to actually receive fertility care through their employer.
Okay. So I know you work with Stork Club. Is that something that you guys do?
Yeah, so Stork Club provides the full range of family health and reproductive health benefits, things like IVF and IUI, tissue freezing, donor tissue, but also things like surrogacy and adoption. So wherever somebody is on the family health journey and the family building journey, we're able to support them.
That's awesome. Well, as a new dad, what were your expectations about paternity benefits before you became a parent?
Yeah, I mean, I am old enough to remember when there really was no paternity leave, and certainly my father is pretty old school, and he's still surprised to hear that I get paternity leave. I think again, it's becoming really the standard, and in the last few years, as my friends had kids and I saw what they were able to do, most companies are matching the paternity leave to the maternity leave. And so when I was interviewing for jobs this last time I changed jobs, I had an offer from Stork Club, which included a nice paternity leave package, and I had another offer that was 2 weeks of paternity leave. And so that alone really influenced my decision. As you know, being a parent, it's sometimes the most important thing that you do, and it's something that people really want to be able to feel supported in. And so it's great when an employer supports that and gives you time to bond with your child. Most companies now give you a year, the first year of the child's life, to use your leave. So that's really great as well.
Okay. Well, how do you think fertility benefits and maybe paternity benefits foster a more family-friendly work culture?
Sure. So, well, first of all, it's directly supporting family building, right? So I feel like it's a pretty big no-brainer if an employer is looking to create more of an inclusive family, family supportive culture.
Mm-hmm.
When an employer offers fertility support through a health insurance plan, which a lot of them now do,
Mm-hmm.
it's often exclusive because it's only for opposite sex couples who have been trying for 6 to 12 months and have an infertility diagnosis. If you're a same sex couple or single, you just by default can't really have that definition, and you can't have that experience. And so it's often limited in that way. Now, when you
Okay.
look to work with a more robust solution like Stork Club, and there's others in the market as well,
Mm-hmm.
that removes that infertility diagnosis requirement. And so it makes it a much more inclusive offering. So you can offer this to any type of couple or any single individual who's looking to start building a family.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I know a lot of companies probably are very hesitant to add that as a benefit because it's really costly for companies as they continue to add new benefits. So, how can organizations strike that balance between cost and then providing fertility benefits and still trying to meet that need for their employees?
Yeah. Well, I would first urge employers to consider what's the cost of not doing this, right? There's very clear research now on how much it costs to replace an employee. It's 1, 2, even 3 times an annual salary. So if you're paying somebody $75,000 a year, it could cost you $150,000 if they leave. And there's a
Right.
lot of data also showing how many people leave to get a benefit like this. Again, building a family is often the most important thing that somebody does in their life. And so it's going to
True.
really inform the way they make a decision about their employer. Are they going to choose the job that is going to give them unlimited IVF, or are they going to choose the job that has the ping pong table in the office and some of the other cool perks that we know people like as well? So I would urge them to consider what the cost is if they don't offer this, because the war on talent is very real, as you know. And so as a retention and attraction tool alone, I think that something like this pays for itself. And then the other thing to consider is partnering with a vendor like Store Club. We only work with clinics that are in a center of excellence network. And so we're able to actually control for a certain quality of care and then ultimately cost as well. So we're able to really mitigate cost and show an ROI, as opposed to just doing this through your health insurance plan and letting people go wherever they want to and then having all sorts of outcomes that you can't really control for.
Awesome. Well, definitely, I think the cost outweighs everything. I mean, the cost just to retain an employee is huge. So
Yeah.
they need to take a look at that. But yeah, great points. So you also host a podcast, Successful Working Parents. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So Successful Working Parents is essentially the intersection between work life, family life, and personal development. So every week we have a different guest on, and we uncover what their secrets and their strategies are to being a busy working parent. We don't always get too into the weeds on actual parenting strategies. There's already plenty of resources out there for that, but I'm really more interested in understanding what makes a person be successful at both and how they're able to still thrive and just figure out what is, for many people, quite the life change and quite the challenge.
Awesome. Well, one last thing. So any tips for new fathers out there on how to strike a balance between working from home with a baby and, just life in general?
Yeah. Wow. My first advice as a dad. How exciting. I think that I think setting expectations with your employer is helpful, so they know that you might have to dip out and help out with mom and the baby. I also think that checking in with your spouse or your partner and making sure that they are okay with what you have to do during the day. Every morning I let my wife know what my schedule is and when I'm going to be unavailable and when I might be able to help her out. And so I think just finding that balance is really important. I want also to say it hasn't been as devastating as everybody had made me feel. So if anybody is prepping to be a dad and everyone's telling them how hard it is, it's hard, but it's also really rewarding and fun. And I think you'll be fine.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you giving us your hot take on this topic. So thank you for being a part of the Jess Get Hired podcast.
Thank you for having me. I had a great time.
I want to thank Anthony for his hot take. Hot takes are quick episodes getting hot takes on hot topics about things that are trending in the workplace today. And these episodes are going to continue to pop up. So you can listen to them on your favorite podcast platform, or you can watch the videos on Spotify or on YouTube. So if you're ready to spice up your life and your career, don't forget to visit thespicygnome.com and then head over to my website, jessgethired.com, which has all the details about who I am, what I do, and the guests that I've had on my show. Well, if you like my content, don't forget to follow me, connect with me, and network with me on LinkedIn by searching my full name, Jessica Fiesta George, and then also head over to Instagram and follow me there, Jess Get Hired. Well, my name is Jessica Fiesta George, your host of the Jess Get Hired podcast. What do y'all want to talk about next? I'll catch you on my next episode.